Joining me now is Congressman Mike Quigley, a Democrat of Illinois and a member of the House Intelligence Committee. First of all, Congressman, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Reverend.
Now, so much to unpack after this truly unprecedented past week. But I want to start with this new reporting from the New York Times, citing 4 sources familiar with a letter sent by a Trump lawyer to the Justice Department in June, claiming that all classified material had been returned to the government. It certainly appears, based on the events of this week, that didn't actually happen. What's your take on that, Congressman, and what could it mean?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a big deal. It's an indication, or a very possible indication, that the former president's team weren't truthful, weren't forthcoming with federal investigations. That's probably why it explains why a possible violation of criminal statutes, particularly obstruction, was listed by the department in their application to get this warrant in the first place to do the search.
And when you hear the former president now saying today on his social media page that he may have pre-classified these documents and other things, he's just about confirming that these documents were there.
Absolutely. And look, there's been no evidence that he did the declassifications. There's limits to how to go forward with the declassification. And clearly the fact that this is in Mar-a-Lago, where we have foreign visitors coming, people were concerned about being part of espionage, and it's only guarded with what we're understanding to be a padlock. It's the height of irresponsibility, and there's clearly a lot more questions that need to be answered.
Well, as you said, he had foreign visitors coming to Mar-a-Lago that could have seen things. We saw pictures very early in his presidency where Lavrov from Russia was looking at documents right on his desk in the Oval Office. But let me ask you this, Congressman. House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff joined House Oversight Chair Carolyn Maloney this weekend on a letter to the Director of National Intelligence calling for a review and damage assessment of the materials FBI agents retrieved at Mar-a-Lago. As a member of House Intelligence, what are you and your colleagues trying to deduce from this damage assessment?
Sure. We want an assessment of what was actually recovered and what its risk was to national security. We'd like that assessment in a classified briefing to Congress as well. We understand that the boxes removed were marked at the highest levels of secrecy. And as members of the committee, we're instructed from day one that this is an exceptionally grave danger to national security. What comes to my mind is sources and methods. Our national security would be at stake. Lives would be at stake, particularly those in the intelligence community. These are bottom line big issues that we need to get to the bottom of. And I do believe that DNI Haynes will respond and we will get this classified briefing. But again, that's only the beginning of uncovering everything that's taken place and what the risks were involved.
Now the FBI and Department of Homeland Security issued a joint bulletin this weekend warning of more potential threats to law enforcement after the Mar-a-Lago search, citing last week's attack on an FBI office in Cincinnati. We also have multiple reports of armed Trump supporters protesting outside the Phoenix FBI office just yesterday. Are you worried that there's more violence to come from Trump supporters as this investigation and others surrounding Donald Trump may escalate?
It is a very, very big concern. And again, the height of hypocrisy. On January 6th in the morning, I watched the president's speech while I was in the Capitol. And when he was done, I said, he just sicked thousands of people on us, meaning our democracy and the place where I was. So, as we know that people died, over 100 police officers were injured. And after the issues that you just described, we heard an onslaught of my Republican colleagues saying things that would do nothing more than incite, talking about defunding the FBI. So much for the party of law enforcement. I'm hoping that calmer voices prevail and that more, because there have been a few, Republicans talk about this and saying, let's get more information and let's not incite the public.
Yeah, you know, Congressman, it was very interesting to me when some on the right tried to act as though some of us that have been in the civil rights and in police reform want to defund the police, which we do not advocate that. Some use that slogan, but they certainly not those of us that's been involved in a lot of these struggles. And now all of a sudden, after a search, they want to defund the FBI. Seems a little contradictory to me. Thank you, Congressman Mike Quigley, for being with us this evening.